Hi, hello. I have really bad brain fog right now and I don't know what I'm doing, but hi. Hi. Welcome back to Design with me. We're on episode 8 now, or as I personally call it, episode 7.5, because this one's really lazy, like it's a really short installment. We're only discussing one character today, and it's not because they're super important or lore heavy. I just can't be bothered to pump out episodes with over 2 designs, so throw tomatoes at me for dragging this series out and making it go down in quality. Will I stop and make it better though? No, I won't. I'm a YouTuber. We don't do that. We only get worse and feel entitled to getting ad revenue from our poorly made slop. But anyway, despite the laziness of it all, I have a really fun character to share today. You might have heard her name being mentioned in an earlier episode, specifically episode 3 in Poppy's section, and if that doesn't ring any bells, real. I don't remember a single thing I say in these, so same. Don't tell anyone though. What was I gonna say? Bro, where's the script?
Bomb has been planted.
Oh my god. Meet Elizabeth Blackthorne, or as I like to call her, Eliza. She's Poppy's girlfriend, and she's drop-dead gorgeous, so let's just get into it. Let's talk about her silly design and her dumb lore. Elizabeth Blackthorne, also known as Eliza, like I said already, is a living ball-jointed doll who resides in the Dark District. She lives in an unknown forest with her mother Cordelia and has been attending Feywood High since she was 15. She was recognized by the school and got accepted due to her mastery in the dark arts. Also because she's a living doll, and that's not really a common thing you see in Feywood, so yeah. Is that classified as nepotism, or am I using that term wrong? Maybe an industry plant? Regardless, Eliza is a really smart student. She's very into magic, very into hexes and spells and all that, and she's very sweet. She's very pretty. She's exactly Poppy's type. But anyway, Elizabeth is another unfortunate character that's been living in my basement for 2 years. I've been wanting to design her since forever, but never had the motivation to do it. I never had the guts to commit, as always, until I got really bored recently and just decided, f*** it, why not? Poppy needs her gosh GF or else she'll die, and I don't want her to die, so here we are. And before we discuss the design process, I just want to share a fun fact. Eliza was an impulse character I made during my Royale High artist era, aka Trauma Central. We hate to see it, womp womp. I just wanted to spite a nonsensical straight ship and give one of the game's NPCs a girlfriend, and naturally, my autistic self went too far and got attached, so who's shocked? By the way, I don't have access to Eliza's old design anymore, but it was low-key boring. She was limited to Royale High's clothes, which aren't exactly good for the vibe I wanted her to have, which was Goth Lolita, and I'm sorry, but Royale High does not understand Goth or Lolita, like, at all. Whether it be separate or together. You know, it's a good thing I got cancelled in that community, otherwise my characters would remain in that game, stay boring as hell, and I'd be miserable. But anyway, keeping all that in mind, I wanted Eliza to be an EGL girly to directly contrast with her girlfriend who's pink and cute. Because, as some of you already know, I am a sucker for the opposites attract trope. I love it. I can never get enough of that ship type. Like, I can ramble about it for hours, but I won't, since you're here for design talk, and I yapped enough already, so let's move on. Elizabeth was a pain in the to draw. Funnily enough, though, I didn't use many references for her, despite how complicated her design looks. The only notable references I used were the Darling Valentina bodice in Royale High, as well as this lovely little wig I found on Pinterest. The source is currently unknown for the wig, but if I find it, the credit should be popping up right now. If it's just question marks, let me know the source so I can credit them in the description. Thank you. But anyway, like I insinuated, it was stupidly easy easy to design Elizabeth, even though I struggled drawing her. I didn't do any heavy reference searching or thinking before I started her concept chibi. I kinda just went into it with 2 references, and that's it. Obviously, I knew I wanted her to have ball joints like me, #delusional, so I took a few photos of basic BJD bases to get the joints right, but that doesn't count. I only used 2 references. Shut up. I also knew from the start that I wanted her joints to be visible, especially her knee joints, since I think they're so darling. They're so cute. There's something about knee joints that make my neurons activate, so I decided, after ripping off the darling Valentina bodice, to give her a crinoline cage skirt. Give her some hoops so you can see her city knees. I will admit though, the crinoline skirt was actually a second option and not my first idea. I wanted Eliza to have a skirt shaped like a rose at the beginning, but it didn't really fit her vibe. It also would have obscured her knee joints completely, and I don't want that. So I caved and gave her hoops. Hoops are fun. Hoops are cool. Also, no, this isn't a Melanie Martinez moment. Do not utter that woman's name in my presence. I don't like her. Not anymore. Sorry. To add more detail to Eliza's skirt, I added roses and ruffles as well as a bustle so fabric drapes beautifully behind her. I also gave her a lacy bolero with bell sleeves since I love bell sleeves. In general, I just love fabric that's flowy and drapes around her body like you're a bed mattress. It just has this elegant vibe to it that never misses, and it fits Eliza to a T. Plus, with the bolero, you can see her other joints, so that's a bonus. That's good. Can you tell I'm trying to justify my repeated design choices? Anyway, for the shoes, I straight up just gave up with them. I don't have an explanation for those. I just drew what I thought fit well and wasn't hard to execute, so yeah. I made sure to give Elizabeth a ton of bows since, you know, she's an EGL girly. I feel like a Lolita outfit is not complete with a ridiculous amount of bows. It feels like a requirement, you know? So I made sure to add those on her skirt, her hair, and her corset. I was playing around with Eliza's hair for a bit, by the way. I didn't really know what to do until I saw that wig I mentioned earlier, and I just yoinked it and changed the hair texture. I'm using custom brushes for her hair, by the way, which aren't made by me. The creators should be popping up right now. Please give them love. I really enjoy using these brushes and highly recommend them. Also, before I forget, I'm sure you can tell Eliza has a heavy rose theme going on, and it's purely because of her surname. It's just a little nod to how a lot of dolls have names based on their appearance or aesthetics. For example, Rainbow High has a ton of those, such as Sunny and Luna Madison, Delilah Fields, Violet Willow, so on, so forth. I thought that was a cute detail to add, since, you know, Eliza's a doll. It's a really corny thing to add, but I love it. I honestly had a lot of fun and misery drawing Elizabeth. I'm really proud of her design, especially her dress. I think it's really beautiful, elegant, and cute. I'm very proud of myself for using a pretty limited color palette with little contrast. It was a nice challenge, and I'm happy with the results, even though it took me way too long to finish her up. Of course, I wish the process wasn't so painful, but that's entirely on my mental health, so everyone say fuck you to my mentally ill brain. If I was normal, I'd be pumping out good content, but no. Anyway, before we end the video, here's a final yap session. Fun facts! Like I mentioned in episode 3, Eliza wears the same bracelet as Poppy. It's on her left hand. It's meant to be like flowers made with candy beads, and the colors of the flowers represent them. Pink is obviously Poppy, while purple is Eliza. They're having a My Melody and Karami moment. God, I hate gay people. Eliza, due to being a doll, can detach her limbs and go into a smaller form if she wishes. She likes taking off her head or popping out her inset eyes to freak students out. Very sweet of her. I know. Her mother makes her clothes. She sews them. Sews. I'm never pronouncing sew as sew. Get used to it. Eliza is obsessed with dolls, funnily enough, and has a collection of her own in her dorm. The dolls may or may not be Monster High. I can't confirm or deny. And well, that's about it. There's more to Eliza, of course. I just can't be bothered anymore, and I need to end this before it gets stupidly long. So... I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope to the gods themselves y'all are alright with lazy, short design with me content. I'm just genuinely not in the mental state to create a lot for a single video, and it makes me feel bad, but like, it's better than nothing, right? I plan on doing more of these lazy installments in the future, so this is a test to see how people react. But anyway, have a good week, everyone. Please have a better time than me. I'm in hell, so I'll see you whenever I reemerge from my coffin. For now, goodbye. My tone was all over the place in that, for sake. Oh my god, only 13 minutes. Anyway, bye-bye. Yay, I'm done. Yay!